lions are. So I know it was a bit late when we started today, but at least we're going to start with some lions. So I can't see what's going on here, but it looks like we're on a kill. Just see if we can get a good spot now. I'll move now, but you can just hear there's a lot of growling. There's definitely been a kill made. Listen to that noise, it's incredible. So from what it looks is that the two males are fighting over the scrap something, and both of them are just sort of lying on top. I can't see what's happened. I'll try to find out as best as possible. I can't see any of the lionesses at the moment. I'll try and move into a bit of position shortly, but it is quite a difficult spot where we are. They're right behind that sort of thicket of grass and small bushes. It's amazing that it obviously is something quite small. I can't see what it is yet. You can see that. I'm going to try and move now to get into a better spot. I'm not going to move right now. The one male is trying to pull whatever meat's left out from the other. We're going to try and move around so we can see a bit more of what's happening. A bit more. It looks like a warthog. I'm not 100% sure yet. There could be a big fight coming up shortly between these two males. I think it is a warthog from the little bit I can see of the skin. So this is incredible. Aren't we lucky? I mean, we start and we now got two big male lions on top of a warthog. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. At the moment it's sort of a war of attrition. The one just, both of them have got teeth into a certain section of the warthog and just not letting go, and they'll try to pull it out from under each other. I'm not sure whether the males killed this or the females, but probably the females, and the males would have just pushed them off. I'm not sure where the females are at the moment. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Khada. Khada would like to know if this is Ginger and Hairy Betty. I think it is. I think it is the two Matimba males. Obviously at the moment, can't really see, but we will probably sort out exactly who that is shortly. I think, Andrew, I'm going to move around a little bit more so we can try to see into that gap there. Okay. Might be able to see that it is definitely a warthog. Try and get us to the best spot where we can see. Say when, yeah, I think it's going to be best around. Wait, there, a little bit forward. That's good. Morning, Purple Rain. Purple Rain would like to know whether this warthog is possibly still alive. I think most definitely not by this stage. Alive and on the process of being killed. They squeal very much similarly to a domestic pig. So the fact that there's no noise, that I'm quite sure this animal's past that stage and is dead and no longer suffering. You can see the one male's eating out from underneath. The other guy's so concentrated on protecting it. So you'll see this with lions quite often. They'll try put as much of their body over the carcass as possible to protect it from the other lions. So even if he's not hungry, he might lie on top just to not let the other male feed. There you can see the warthog is tusked briefly. Guys, I think this might turn into a bit of a fight if they keep pushing each other like this. What a way to start the Sunrise Safari. So it looks like he's feeding from the throat area at the moment, or behind the head. You can see that's one of the front feet of the warthog. warthog. Underneath those lion paws is where the head is, from what I saw earlier. And so that male, which looks to be the ginger male, has got a lot of his body lying on top of the carcass to try and prevent the hairy-bellied male from feeding. See, he's using those, what would be sort of molars and premolars on other animals that are especially designed in lions to be sharpened, and they act like a cutting tool, and they're slicing through the skin there so you can get to the meat. Hi Sheila, welcome on the Sunrise Safari. She would like to know, apart from the very distinct growling we're hearing, this sort of a heavy breathing, hissing, she would like to know if that's also from the lions. It is, and it is also an aggressive sound that they are making at each other. Sandy from Indiana, welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Sandy. Sandy would like to know, how fresh do I think this kill is? I think this is extremely fresh, Sandy. In the last couple of minutes, maybe a few minutes before we actually arrived here. So very, very fresh. The thing is, the male lions aren't that hungry. That's why they're not really eating like we've seen. You can see them sometimes, and they haven't got into a big fight yet, but that might still come. So you can see the lighter maned lion is just trying to position his body over as much of the carcass as possible to prevent the other one from feeding, even though the other one has managed to find a little gap there to feed. I'm going to try reverse again a little bit, and so we can have a bit more of a view. Majority of the carcass is being dominated by the one male lion on the right. And he's just using his body, even though he might not be hungry now, he still wants to eat later, so he's trying to be quite selfish and stop the other male from feeding as much as possible. But at the moment he's not that hungry, so he's not ready to sort of put up a big fight for it yet. And the other male who's feeding isn't that hungry either, otherwise there would be a proper boxing match over this warthog, and it's more than likely that lioness has killed this warthog. I'm not 100% sure. I will try to find out. I will try to find out whether it was the lionesses or the males that killed this. More than likely the males. The lionesses. welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Rena. Rena would like to know where the Styx lionesses are. For what I know, they are lying up probably about 150, 200 meters from us. They would not want to get involved in male lions fighting over a carcass. So even if they did kill the warthog, when the males rushed in, they would have immediately run off. Sherry, welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Sherry. Nice to have you with us. Sherry would like to know what would happen if those tiny little cubs would have to come to this kill. It's strange enough, male lions are very, very tolerant of young cubs. It's as they get older they become less tolerant, but also it is never, the lionesses would probably try to keep the cubs away, especially from a kill this small, where there is likely to be heightened aggression. Seems to be getting quite a decent bit of meat in there. Can't see exactly what exactly he's feeding on, but I think it's around the neck area. Morning, Liz from Wisconsin. How are you this morning, Liz? Welcome. Liz would like to know, I think it's an adult or a baby. I think it's an adult warthog, but a young adult. Or a young adult. I didn't see whether it was male or female, but I think it's a young adult, possibly 2 to 3 years old. So you can see the surrounding bush is quite good hunting ground for a lion. There's lots of cover. So a nice area for them to have hunted in. We've got quite a lot of monkey orange thickets and Combretum scrubland. So a very good area for a lion to hunt in. And successful, as we can see. Now if we go, to the termite mound behind these lions, that looks like is exactly what happened. The warthog, as it was getting a bit warmer, came out of the hole there. We'll probably go have a closer look, and I think just by pure bad luck might have come out of that hole and the lions might have been outside and sort of ran into a premature ending. Okay, fortunately for us, we're now the only vehicle here, so I'm just going to reposition again.
Pretty big.
Pretty big, okay. Try another way. Just judging from this male here, it looks like they have opened up the stomach, and they probably would have gone for things like the heart, the liver, the lungs, kidneys, first. Those are very high in iron and other nutrients, so they're generally the first thing that'll be eaten. So it looks like the male lion that's lying on top possibly got there first, especially if we go in tight on his lip. You've got a really dark and viscous sort of blood and mixture with saliva hanging there, and it's quite dark, really rich red blood, so I think that might be from those internal organs. Obviously impossible to know for sure. I'm sure quite a lot of you are wondering about the smell we've got here, and it's not actually a very smelly smell. So it smells very similar to if you went to your local butcher, mixed in with sort of grass, and that's from the stomach contents. So it's not a terribly unpleasant smell like you would get on a sort of big carcass that's been around for a couple of days of sort of rotting meat. Hi Blair, good morning. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Blair would like to know, in my opinion, who do I think is winning this battle? Blair, I would probably say the one who's lying on the majority of the carcass, even though he's not feeding at the moment. He's still protecting the majority of the carcass, and it looks like he probably got to the internal organs first. But as I said, nearly impossible to tell for sure. But in my opinion, I would say, so I think it's the ginger male who's winning. Also, he's got quite a full belly already, and the fact that he's just lying on the carcass rather than trying to feed, whereas the other lion is feeding, I would say he's probably the winner. If any of you are new, there we go. See, there still might be some big fights, even though they are coalition members, and they fight other lions together. When it comes down to food, lions forget all their manners. Hi Marianne, welcome. Marianne would like to know which of the two lions is making the most noise. Is it the ginger male? I think it is the ginger male, the one on the right. Although now he started to feed as well. So in the beginning it was the ginger male who was making the most noise. Now it's the other one who's actually making quite a lot of the noise. It's amazing the power of those jaws. They literally just crush through the rib bones of this young warthog. Hi, Benjamin. Benjamin would like to know whether the lions use the bones of their kills to sharpen their teeth. They don't actually, Benjamin. The bones actually, well, there you can see the intestines just behind. The bones actually blunten their teeth more than anything else. And that's one of the things that has quite a lot to do with the lion's lifespan. Is as soon as their teeth are broken or they start getting very blunt. So, trying to have a look. There we go. He's going in for it's the liver. So he's eating the liver. So even though he wasn't that hungry, he sat over the really nutritious parts and he waited. Oh, and then he got opened the gallbladder. That's that little socket there. So I can't imagine that tasted very nice. Penny Pine. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Penny Pine would like to know, would the one lion bite the other's leg to get him to move? I have seen that happen before, Penny, but when they do that, it can spark a big fight. And at the moment, I think they're both quite full and they've both got access to some food. So there's no reason at the moment for the one male to bite the other, but that might change in a matter of seconds. Hi, Jennifer from Stanton, Missouri. Jennifer would like to, said she thinks she saw in a screen grab from another viewer. Oh, look at those claws. She thinks she saw another warthog watching. Do I see any warthog, and is this likely? It's not likely at all. If there are any warthog, they're going to be very deep in that hole that this warthog, I think, came from. If they did get out, they would have made their way as fast as possible away from here. So I doubt there's another warthog very close by. It's definitely not within eye or within visual at the moment. So that male is actually eating the skull. He's crushed the skull. A lot of that cracking we heard. So another obviously high protein and high mineral source of food for the lions is the brain. Marianne. Marianne would like to know, theoretically, if this was a mother warthog. Obviously, it's quite difficult for me to see at the moment. Marianne would like to know what would happen to the piglets. Well, Marianne, depends on their age. Most piglets at this time of the year are already quite capable of looking after themselves to a degree. So there is a possibility they would survive. If they were younger, it's very difficult to say, but more than likely they would be probably eaten by other predators. Oh, there we go. He's getting back into the organs. I think I just saw a kidney. So you see he's trying to avoid the stomach itself and the intestines and trying to eat around them. So after the kidneys, I'll be back with you guys in a second. I just have to go on the Game Drive channel. There's someone who would like to come join us here. So yeah, I know you confirm you're looking for this Matimba position. From Mamba Junction with Twin Dams, just head straight into the block from there. You should get my vehicle visual. There's one station here, space for two. Rena was actually talking about the intestines at the same time I was. So as I said, they'll try to eat around the intestines at the moment while there's good stuff. But if they are hungry, they will eat the intestines. They'll open them up and remove or try to shake loose the vegetable matter that's still inside, and they will eat they will eat the intestines as well. But while there's good stuff like kidneys and livers and lungs, they'll eat those first. So there's two quite interesting things that might happen here. As it gets warmer, one male might want to move into the shade, and that could lead to a big boxing match, and which is what I think might be about to play out. So he's gripped the warthog like he wants to move it, but obviously it's quite difficult with the other male still feeding on the head side. Hi, William. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari, William. William would like to know what is a sort of big cat's range of taste. And William asked this obviously when we saw that male lion open up the gallbladder. William, I'm not actually 100% sure. If you guys would like to help me out there and see what you can find about it, I'm not sure what a big cat like a lion's range of taste is. If you find any interesting information, so if you find any information on what range of taste a big cat has, you can send that information to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. So I know this is quite gruesome and whatnot, but is nature taking its place? And obviously if the lions weren't able to feed on this warthog, then the lions would expire. So, and sometimes as difficult as stuff is is to watch. It is nature happening, and we are here to observe and not to interfere or to judge. And there's no judgment in with wildlife. They've been doing this for, well, lions for 200,000 years in current form. Hi, Jim. Jim would like to know why there's so much licking. Is it for taste, or is there another reason? Jim, a lot of it will be to lick up the blood. Obviously, the blood is quite nutritious for a lion. And in other situations, a lion's tongue is like sandpaper. So sometimes they'll lick to sort of soften a piece of meat, but they're also after. Yeah, just head straight sort of west from where you are now. You should get my visual. Or if you turn off, you should hear the lions feeding. Hi, Gail from Michigan. Gail would like to know, if a lion's tongue is like sandpaper, how is it possible that they can lick their babies without hurting them? Well, a lion is a much more robust animal than us, or than an impala or warthog. But also with that licking, it will take quite a lot of constant licking to remove it, and obviously they are quite a lot more gentle with their cubs than they would be with something they're trying to eat. And obviously that sandpaper effect does a very good job at trying, sometimes removing small ectoparasites like ticks and mites. Morning, everyone. Looks like he's thinking about moving, but he sort of knows he has to let go of some of his chance. Morning, morning. Good to yourself. And that might be the sort of chance that the other male takes to run off with the rest of the carcass. He's still protecting the majority of that carcass with his body to prevent the other male getting to it. Morning, Janet. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Janet would like to know whether they would leave some of the meat for the lionesses. Unfortunately not, Janet. Male lions are not big on sharing, not even with each other, and especially not with the ladies. That licking there is not actually tenderizing, he's actually licking up the blood, trying to get as much nutrients as possible. Morning, Tammy from Seattle, Washington. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Tammy. Tammy would like to know whether the females would purposely kill an animal and then leave it for the males so they could go off and kill their own animal. Tammy, I'm afraid I don't think lions are that smart. They're very instinctive creatures, but by no means do they make a plan. So I don't think so. I think they would have hunted this to try feed on it, and the males would have chased them off. And they will possibly hunt again, but that is more out of instinct. If they see a prey species in front of them, they'll instinctively go into that sort of stalk and hunt mode. I don't think they've thought, okay, if I kill this warthog, I'll leave it for the boys so I can go find something else. You must remember, lions also only have about a 15% success rate. So only 1.5 times out of 10 do they actually catch something. And they take a lot of energy and effort to do that. So I don't think they would expend that energy knowing that they were going to lose the kill. Hi, William. William would like to know what the likelihood of the lions being on this carcass for the sunset safari. And yeah, William, I'm pretty sure this is going to be very, very finished by then. But I don't think they'll move too far. The day's warming up. They are not too far from Trinidad, so they might possibly head down there to have a drink afterwards. But I'm quite confident we'll be able to find them on the sunset safari, but definitely not on the Warthog. Hi, Liz from Wisconsin. Thanks for another question, Liz. Liz would like to know if I know which of these two male lions ate the heart, or which one do I think. Liz, just judging from the dominance behavior that's happening here, it's definitely the ginger or the lighter maned lion on the right. He's also eaten the livers and the kidney, and he's in the position where he's been able to access the sort of chest cavity of the warthog. And I think he is definitely the one who ate the heart. And he is, even though not feeding, he is controlling the majority of the carcass with his body. So, which leads me to think he's either more hungry, but I don't think so. I think he's just more dominant in this current situation. And dominance in lion coalitions can change regularly, so it all depends whether food and females are involved. On the Sunrise Safari, Carol. Carol would like to know if elephants have 6 sets of teeth in their life, how many sets of teeth does a lion have? Carol, they'll have a sort of set of milk teeth when they're cubs, and then they'll have 1 set of teeth for the rest of their life. So when lions' teeth break and wear down, it is quite bad for them. You can hear that there where he's using the premolars, which are specially designed. They're not flat anymore, they're like cutting edges. And when you see that a lion turn his head to the side like that, oh, sorry. He's just going to go across to him on his... So maybe we'll get a view of those. When he turns, at the moment, he's using the actual molars at the back, and the specially sharpened molars. And crunching through. When you see a lion turn that head to the side, they're using the cutting action of those teeth. There we go. And often doing that, they use that aside to cut through thick skin or to break bones. So unlike our molars that are quite flat, lions' premolars and molars are sharpened edges, and they work very much sort of like a very robust and big pair of scissors when they turn their head to the side like that. see all the nicks and scars on the face, and a lot of that is not from fighting with other male lions that are coming to their territory. It's actually from fighting over food or fighting over mating rights amongst themselves. Morning, Benjamin. Benjamin would like to know whether the dirty, rotting flesh that builds up under a lion's claws and in its teeth could possibly kill another animal. Most definitely, Benjamin. And one of the biggest problems with lion attacks, especially humans or people who survive, is the onset of infection. So if a lion does manage to bite something like a zebra or a wildebeest, the onset of infection is a strong possibility. But we must remember that a lot of the animals out here are far more robust and they heal a lot quicker than we would think they would. So it is a possibility that the rotting flesh could cause an infection in an animal that managed to escape a lion, but it is unlikely. You see that there? He tried to do a sneaky maneuver and move the rest of the carcass. Okay, that was an attempt to try and remove the rest of the carcass away from the male. And you can see that the male at the back he's actually anchored his claws at full extension to try to hold on. You can see them there in that piece there. Isn't that incredible? You can see those claws completely out of their sheaths. So even though he's feeding right under that male's elbow, he's very careful not to bite him, as it could lead to a fight. Anna-Marie, welcome on the Sunrise Safari, Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie would like to know, would they gnaw through the leg bones? On a small warthog like this, most definitely, but gnaw would be the wrong word. They'll crunch straight through them, would probably be an apt description. They are very fond of the marrow that is found in the leg bones of most of their prey species. Hi, Laura from Happy Valley. And Laura would like to know, is there any diseases that might affect specifically a lion's sense of smell and therefore affect their ability to hunt? Well, Laura, not that I'm aware of, but also lions are much more visual hunters than using their sense of smell. When they come to hunting, they're very instinctive. So they see something and it moves, then they will start stalking it. They don't really rely on their sense of smell too much for hunting. It's far more used in terms of communication between lions. So with scent marking, using the Jacobson's organ to get information about the other lions, how old, whether they're an estrus, all that type of stuff. They actually taste the smell almost using that organ. But there's no diseases that I'm aware of that specifically target a lion's sense of smell. Hi, Corin. Welcome on this sunrise safari. I'm sitting with the two Matimba male lions. Corin would like to know what would happen if any hyenas came around. Now, Corin, I think hyenas are smart enough to know that coming into a position of two male lions is not a good idea. Whereas hyenas will quite often harass lionesses, even big prides of lionesses, it's very seldom they'll harass males. I think I've never seen it in all my years in the bush. Also, they'll be able to hear that these are male lions, so I think the hyenas will just steer clear for now. So again, you can smell the carcass. As I said, it's not a completely unpleasant smell. It smells like you would if you walked into your local butcher, just with a little bit of stomach content added in, that sort of undigested grasses. Not like a carcass that's been around for a while. Andrew, how would you describe that smell?
It's quite nice.
Well, of course, Andrew says it's quite nice. That's why all cameramen are strange. But it's not an unpleasant smell. I don't know if I'd go as far as say it was nice, but as it gets less and less of this carcass, the likelihood of a fight increases. It looks like that male to the left has managed to sneakily eat nearly a quarter of a warthog from underneath the other's belly. You can see it. There's the nose and the tusk sticking out just in front of his, or just behind that front paw. I'm still not able to determine whether it's a male or female warthog. I did see him eat one of the warts off the face, so I think sexing it's going to be a little bit difficult for now. So for those of you who've logged in a little bit late or just joined us or are possibly new viewers, we are sitting with two male lions eating a warthog live. You're seeing this at the exact same time as I am, and we are in Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands, South Africa, part of the Greater Kruger National Park. And at the moment we've got one male lion who's trying to protect a lot of the carcass with his body to prevent the other from feeding. A the reason he's not eating is he's probably quite full, but male lions are not known for their sharing. So he's trying to lie on top of that carcass for when he feels the need to eat again, will still have some food. Although the second male is doing a very good job of sneakily eating the warthog out from underneath him. So guys, it's been a really short day for us today. We really do apologize for the satellite gremlins that were messing with our signal this morning, and isn't it wonderful that we managed to come out and almost immediately we arrived at this male lion sighting. So fantastic. Thanks to all of those who waited those 2 hours till we went live. We really do appreciate it, and we love having you on the back of the vehicle with us. And thanks again for all the questions. It really is a privilege and a pleasure to be able to share our passion for African wildlife and our home in the bush with you. And we look forward to seeing you on the sunset safari as well, from Andrew and myself next to the male lions, and from Tara and Eugene, who worked like a Trojan this morning to try fix those satellite issues. We've had a little discussion, and we're going to extend a little bit longer to say thank you to those who waited. So enough of me yabbering, and let's get back to those lions. Hi, Gilly from Wisconsin. Thanks very much. Gilly is following one of our chat rooms, and there's been some comments by a lady named Claire saying these two lions seem very tolerant of each other compared to other lion kills she's seen. And she's wondering, is it because they possibly are direct brothers? Would this make a difference? Claire, it's near impossible to say whether they're brothers without having to do some genetics on them. And that doesn't really make a difference. Completely blood-related male lions would fight. The reason they're not that aggressive is because they're not that hungry. So they both got reasonably full bellies, and that is the reason there hasn't been as much aggression on such a small carcass. To say that doesn't mean it might not happen still as the carcass gets smaller. Bev from Durban. Welcome, Bev. Apparently you just joined us, so welcome on the back of the vehicle. Bev would like to know whether we're lucky enough to witness the sighting. Unfortunately not, Bev. We were still fighting satellite gremlins at that stage. We probably arrived within 5 or 6 minutes after it happening. But I wish we had been here. So it looks like this was just a very unlucky warthog. We'll show you a bit later, there's some vehicles in the way, but I think what happened is the lions were moving through the bush, and that warthog came out of the termite mound that's behind there and literally walked straight into the lions to start its morning. So very unfortunate if you were a warthog, but very fortunate if you were the lions. like to know whether lions like or will avoid consuming the warthog's genitals. William, the warthog's genitals will be eaten along with everything else. They don't really take any preference or dislike towards them. So, yes, they would eat them. They're both quite full. They're not even feeding at the moment, but neither of them will ever relinquish that grip on the carcass. I can't eat anymore, but I won't let you have it. I'm just going to lie on top of it. I don't know if you guys have a look. So, what I was about to say was to watch the tail. That's what I'm watching. And if you watch the tail, that's generally a precursor to heightened aggression and growling. So, as I was about to say, watch the tail, because the tail started flicking, that deeper, much more aggressive growling started. Well, thank you very, very much, Raisa, who's followed up on that question. I asked you guys about lions' taste buds. Lions only have 450 taste buds. We as humans have 10,000 taste buds. And an animal like a pig has 15,000 taste buds. So, because this information is all from Raisa, because of a lion's very sort of one-sided diet of meat, they don't need as many taste buds as us. And also, very interesting, they have no sweet ability to taste anything sweet. So, very interesting. Thank you for that, Raisa. I really do appreciate it. So we can see there a few of the warthog's teeth and looking through the bottom jaw. So we'll see now, you can just see the tail moving slightly in top left of frame. That's not real aggression yet, so we'll watch for it to really flick. That's generally an onset before the main event, or more aggressive behavior. Jim from Milwaukee. Jim would like to know, would male lions take first precedence at a kill and finish a complete kill, even if in bad times, if it was to the detriment of the pride. They would definitely. They need to keep in as top physical condition as possible to try defend the territory of the pride against other males. They will always, if possible, finish off a kill or eat as much as they can. The times you don't really see this is on bigger kills like buffalo and giraffe, where they actually physically eat so much they cannot put anything more in their mouth, and then the other members of the pride will feed. And sometimes on smaller things like wildebeest, it all just depends on how hungry they are. And I've even seen a male lion after a big fight and was in a very bad state, and the pride hadn't caught anything. I watched them eat 3 of his own cubs to get back condition. So you must remember that you can't put sort of human emotions and things into this. A male lion's biggest job is to survive, and if he has to eat his own offspring to survive, as long as he survives, then he can mate again afterwards and create more offspring. So a male lion's sole purpose in life is to procreate and to survive. Hi, Susan from the Netherlands. Susan heard me say that I don't think lions are particularly clever. She says she's just watched a show where they were doing experiments with, I'm guessing this is that called Deadly Predator Challenge, Susan, and I actually worked as a cameraman on that show. So I was there while we were doing those experiments, where we did put cardboard cutouts of warthog, impala, kudu and buffalo out in the exact same place, and we were working with Kevin Richardson, and we took the lions walking up there, and we took the same lions and they attacked the cardboard and couldn't understand where the animal had gone, and then would run to the next cardboard thing and hit it down, and we would take them an hour later to the exact same place with the exact same cardboard cutouts in the exact same configuration, and they did it every single time. The one interesting thing which you've mentioned now, which we did notice, was prey selection. The single lioness would always go for the impala or the warthog. 2 lionesses went for the kudu. As soon as we introduced a male lion into there, they went for the buffalo, even though those lions had never seen a buffalo before. So it is very interesting. I think they do know from the physical size that a male lion is there, they can take down bigger prey. But in terms of lions being stupid's probably the wrong word. So I apologize to the lions. Lions are instinctive rather than stupid. So we did a very similar test with hyenas, and hyenas were immediately able to differentiate between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional cardboard things. So it was a very, very interesting project to work on. But the one thing, lions are more instinctive than stupid. Watch that tail, you can hear that heightened growling. You could see immediately as those tails started flicking, and just afterwards that deep growling and slightly more aggressive behavior came about. from more little